inside of our Z100 Artist Interview Lounge presented by Celsius. I'm Crystal Rosas. Today, she is the pop visionary who's turned nostalgia into a viral moment, but she's just getting started now. From her cult classic debut Superficial, her TikTok-fueled comeback racking over 1 billion streams and topping Billboard's Dance Digital Song sales. She is just reclaiming the spotlight on her own terms now. Her single No Going Home is lighting up playlists, and her long-awaited album Heidiwood dropped last month. And this summer, she's bringing her hyper glam pop to London, here New York, SF, Seattle, Vancouver. Please welcome the unstoppable pop force, Heidi Montag.
Thank you. What an intro.
Heidi. Hi.
Hi.
I mean, from everything, and you already know we've had a chat before on Zoom, and I told you and Spencer, I was like, when you guys are in New York, you guys have to come. And, I say that, but you really are here.
I know. And thank you for the invite. I was like, if we go to New York, we're coming. So I'm so glad that we could have the time and everything. So thank you for your endless support too, and everything. It has meant the world, and you've been one of the biggest forces behind supporting us. So I just really appreciate that.
Of course, because when everything was going on with the fires in LA, and I saw your guys' videos, and I saw Spencer and you just trying so hard to rebuild something for your family, but it was the spirit that you guys had that was just really unmatched. I feel like a lot of us hadn't seen that. And it was so pure. Mm-hmm. And knowing now that your dreams are like, I know.
I know. I get it.
No, it's like from there to now. Like, it's just so cool to see that. We're like,
I know.
The girl time. It's so cool to see that everything and more is coming to fruition. So how are you? Because it's been a lot.
It's been a lot. It's a lot of different layers at the same time. It's a lot to balance. And it's, like I said before, so interesting to have the hardest moments of my life also be the highest moments of my life. So I'm just trying to navigate through it well-roundedly and balance with my kids and with the opportunities coming and trying to rebuild our house and dealing with all the just so many different layers. So I feel really blessed. I'm just trying to count my blessings of the opportunities that are coming and that have come, and to be able to have my dreams come true through such a difficult time. It's really ironic, and it also shows me and other people, I feel like, to never give up on your dreams. And you never know in life, you're not too old to accomplish something, or you haven't already done it, so you can't do it again. It's like you never know when things swing back, and if they were meant to build slowly to give you the push later in life, and just how it all plays out has been really interesting, sitting back, kind of looking at the landscape and the building blocks. But I'm really thankful, and just trying to harness that inner pop star that I've always wanted to be, and just really be in the moment. I think that's one of the biggest takeaways I've had from all of this, is that we only have now. You can't hold on to things later. You can't go back and take things that you miss. So you really just have like now. So that's what I'm just trying to do. I just want it to be a great show for everybody. Tonight I'm going to perform at Zoo at Webster Hall, which is really exciting. And I have a Sephora private party that I'm performing at. So I'm just so excited to be able to do that. And I was really nervous getting on stage at first. I was like shaking, very nervous. And now it's fun. And I feel more comfortable with it. And I'm singing live, which was so nerve-wracking at first. So it's a lot.
It is a lot, but you know what? I'm seeing you and I'm watching you, and it feels like you really are doing a good job at being present. So just know that I can imagine that the whole world is like, but your energy and your smiles and you're always thinking the big man above. Like, I think that's really what's helping all the blessings and blessings.
Yeah.
When everything was going on, did you already have Heidiwood? How did that happen? Because this is a long album, and I could tell you put a lot of work into these songs.
We started this Heidiwood a year ago, And at first we were going to do singles because the music industry, as you know, is just changing so quickly. And we want to be on top of it and ahead of it, not behind it. So we thought maybe we won't do another album because that's a lot of pressure to have another album. Superficial was such a cult classic that it was hard to follow it up.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure of how that was going to lay out. But it did become really coherent to become an album, and it holds a lot of weight also having an album. And I just thought, you know what, I do want this to be an album, and Heidiwood is the perfect time and moment. So we've spent the last year creating Heidiwood, and it just ended up being the perfect timing to be able to put it out together. And I actually have my next album almost done. So we're just working and, just going to continue to push forward and push hard through this and say yes to every show and every opportunity and see, what God has in plan, what he has in store.
Going through Heidiwood, the writing is so funny. Like some of the songs,
Yes.
Sriracha is so good. Some of the lines, like I was sent like an angel to Beverly Hills. I'm the reason you have your fills. My YSL on my DSLs. Like, who is writing this with you? How are you getting these lines?
So these lines are written for me, right? Like we catered songs for me. I'm only a co-writer on like a few of the songs.
Wow.
And so but they catered them for me and
How
what
did
they
you find
think.
them?
There he is. There's Spencer.
No, there is Spencer.
He went to get a new lens. I'm like, you cannot be late for my radio interview getting a new lens. I know. Yay.
Hi, Spencer.
I know.
New York traffic.
Yeah.
I know it is not a joke. Hi, honey. Oh my gosh, Spencer's here. Hi, Spencer. Thank you. So how did you find these writers? Because they're so good.
The writers are incredible. We wanted to really find the new hit up and coming songwriters, producers. So we spent a long time finding them and shifting through them and getting back into the music industry because we had left the music industry 15 years ago and so much has changed and music has changed. So I feel like this new generation really has their finger on the pulse.
Yes.
Also, not to say the older generation doesn't, but we just thought also it's easier to start working with the younger generation to dive in.
No, I hear it. Like it's crazy because it's things that you are singing and saying. It's some of it's so funny. Like I'm gagging like at the things.
Yeah, I think it's also fun to be funny and like tongue in cheek, you know, and to take it seriously but not. And that's what I love about hyper pop is it's kind of not as serious as a pop. You know, pop can be whatever you want now. There's slut pop, there's hyper pop, there's pop pop, there's fun pop, there's like all these different genres. So I just wanted to acknowledge what people say and kind of take ownership of my own narrative of where we left off.
And also a lot of these songs, even if they are playful or fun, it was a phone screen where I was like, no, I want to be a background. Like it's still so real.
Yeah,
It
screensaver.
seems screensaver.
Yeah.
It seems so superficial, but like it actually
Right.
has depth if you really look into it and think about it.
Like, of course I want to be your screensaver. Obviously. You don't want some random person on there, you know. Yeah. I want to be your t-shirt. That's going to be my next song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be your t-shirt.
I want to be your t-shirt. Let's talk about the song that I told you this morning, Made Me Cry, Flash, and how you fought to have that song on there. It is, I mean, you're starting it off. We don't really know where you're going. You're meeting a guy, and then it's that moment where you're like, wait, I think I see my whole life in you.
Yeah.
And I can assume that is what happened. So let's talk about that one.
Well, for me, it was definitely love at first sight when I met Spencer. And my world changed when I met him. And I told everybody I was going to marry him, like right away. Everyone's like, oh my gosh. And that wasn't anything I was saying or doing. Like I just met Spencer and it just was so different. It felt like a soul connection for me. I just felt so... That was it. I knew that was my person. Mm-hmm. And now look at us how many years later, 18 years later with 2 kids. And so I love Flash. And you never know where life is going to go and how it's going to play out. So that was one of my favorite songs on the album.
What were some other songs on there that maybe you tweaked some things or you felt like took a little more time than you anticipated?
Prototype, we did a few cuts of it just to make sure we got the right
I love
prototype.
prototype.
I love
And
prototype.
you are. I mean,
Yeah.
that is you when you talk about it.
I love prototype. Yeah, because everyone's done everything now and talks about everything now, but it's like no one did. And I was criticized and ostracized for talking about plastic surgery and for being honest and authentic in the industry by a lot of people, by a lot of the actual industry, by brands. I mean, it was a big deal to step out and be honest about things. And now it's so casual and people are praised for it. It's just interesting. So I'm glad to have been able to be the trailblazer and take those hits as the prototype for everyone and that.
Wow. So now you're saying that you're working on even more music?
Yes.
Are you working with the same writers, different producers?
Some of the same writers, some of the same producers, and a lot new ones as well. So I want to continue to have the albums, just get better and better.
Okay, yeah.
So,
Evolve.
evolve.
And as we just mentioned with Prototype, you are the trailblazer in a lot of things. And I feel like for the sound of this album, it's something that I feel like the alien girlies listen to. I feel like it's ahead. I feel like it's kind of space vibes, very, very modern. How did you want to hone that sound?
It's similar to how I felt when Superficial came out. And it was really, and now people say in retrospect that it was ahead of its time. And it was so... and now it's so current, and that is such a sound that people are making and emulating. So for Heidiwood, I wanted it to be a similar experience, that the people who get it now, but that it has time to age and it also has time to seep in to the culture and to become a cult classic like Heidiwood.
Okay. So that's so true. And we're seeing different sides of you on this album. But do you think for the next one, do you want to go in the same direction? Do you want to expand a little bit? Because we're in a time where artists are dibble-dabbling in total different genres. Have you considered that?
I'm going to continue on a similar trajectory, but definitely branch out and have the sounds be a little bit different. So it's going to be different than this album, but really in that pop vein and that pop genre. But I'm excited. There are so many incredible songs. I have Madison Love, who wrote one of my songs, and she's one of the biggest songwriters. So I'm really excited to have that come out. We have a lot of incredible tracks coming out.
Whoa. What are the babies? Are they in the studio sometimes? Do they see mom when she's in the process of being her pop star?
I have not fully incorporated them like in that world because I've been driving through LA and it's just been so much to drive 2.5 hours down there, record, do dance rehearsal, and then race back because they've been in school and I've been trying to time it so I'm not away from them as much as possible. But the drive alone has been like 6 hours a day, and that's just, it's very tolling, especially on children. So I haven't been able to immerse them in this world. Yeah, I was contemplating bringing them to London and here, and then I thought it's going to be hard for me to do it, let alone a 2-year-old and a 7-year-old. If I went on tour, I would definitely bring them with me. But for something that are these quick trips and hit the road running when you get there, I think it's just better to focus and do what I need to do, especially because this is the beginning of my performing career, and I really want to build a solid foundation, be able to fully focus on what I'm doing. Because first, being a mom will always come first. And so I don't think I would be able to perform and work as much as I have with them.
So it seems like with all this happening, everyone just has been trying to push you on stage, which is something that you've wanted to do.
Right.
So how has that transition been, learning the dancing of it, learning the vocal techniques, learning the endurance of performing on stage? I know you've done it in the past, but it's more than ever now you've become a commodity to want to see you perform.
In the beginning, it was really stressful. I was really excited because I only had Miss Universe. That was my only previous performance I've ever done. And that was with 6 backup dancers in the prime of, our career. And I just always wished that I had more and that I had more experience doing that. So starting really from scratch and not having backup dancers, by the way, they cost a lot of money. So I was like, first, I'm going to save the money and just stand out there and be, I love when like Charlie XCX and Doja Cat stand strong on the stage themselves. I love backup dancers also. Maybe I'll get there at one point, but I also love to be able to stand out there. So it's been a lot of pressure being out there alone, and it's been really nice having the freedom of being out there alone and being able to have an outline of a performance, but being able to interact with the crowd and ad lib and incorporating live vocals was very overwhelming when we first talked about it for these performances. And then I did it, and I felt so good and so accomplished and really proud of myself. And to have like an audio tech person now traveling with us and having the set all stemmed out, it just feels really accomplished. It feels really authentic, great, and fun. It's starting to feel really fun now in that place. Everyone's always like, performing is the best. I was talking with Kelly Rowland about it at a monster truck event. I'm like, what are your tips? She's like, girl, just have fun. Like, enjoy it. Lap it up. These are the best crowds. And I just looked at her, who I think is one of the best performers and obviously has the most experience. And I was like, okay, I'm going to really take that to heart and just take a breath, take the pressure off of myself, because people are just there to have fun. And I want to have fun. And I want it to be fun and not be so like critical of myself either.
Well, yeah, you don't want to be a joke. I mean, this is your like life dream.
Right,
So you
right.
don't want to just not be prepared and
Yes.
not give them anything that they deserve.
Right.
But just trying to stay present and not be too mechanical
Yes.
when you're still trying to learn all these things at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a balance.
Wow. I mean, you brought up Miss Universe. That was 2009.
Oh my gosh.
1 billion views.
Yeah.
Like, hello.
Yeah. That was such an incredible accomplishment. And I worked so hard at it. I felt so good about it. I'm like, well, if there was just one performance, I'm glad that was it.
So now you're here and the album's out. And how did it feel, that first performance recently? Like, where were you? What was going through your head? How was the rehearsal for that like? And then the moment where you stepped on stage. So take us back.
So I had 2 rehearsals in London. I had Clapham, that club performance the night before, and then we had Hoopla, Mighty Hoopla, and that was in front of 33,000 people at a festival. So that was my first big festival I've ever performed at. 33,000 people, that's so many people. And I was overwhelmed because I feel like day festivals can be a little trickier than nightclubs, because when you step into that nightclub, it's dark, the aesthetic's there, everyone's just having fun, drinking, partying, whatever. The vibe is already set, and it's more of a stage that you step into. With the day, it's very
The vibes are already, you said the vibes. Like,
Yeah.
they're waiting for you.
right,
Like,
but also like you can really see everything.
Oh,
So
that's
it's, like,
true.
really
Yeah,
bright.
visually.
Yeah, you're like, I am fully right here. So I was really
You're exposed.
overwhelmed.
Everyone's
Yeah,
exposed.
exactly. You're just So when I went to rehearsal for Mighty Hoopla, there was a ramp. And I was so overwhelmed. I've never been up and down a ramp. I mean, I felt like a horse going down and up, like charging it. And Enrique, my choreographer, he's like, okay, walk down the ramp. I was like, I can't. He's like, walk down and walk up. And I'm like, okay. So I walk down and walk up. He's like, and again, and again, and again. And so I did it 4 times. I was like, that was the best advice ever. I could just walk down and walk up. And now I feel comfortable doing it. And then we could kind of map it out. I originally wasn't supposed to have sound check because, like Kesha had the sound check and Erica Jane. And so they were like, we don't have time for your sound check. I was like, okay, cool. Well, can I just like walk the stage? So I did. And thank God I did, because that really helped me to prepare for it. And then right before, I was shaking and I was praying, and I was just there, and I was like, you know what, God, just thank you for this moment. And right here and right now, whatever it's supposed to be, I just pray that you just spread love and light, have it radiate through me. And if there's anyone that you could bless through this, that you would. So I just took a breath and I went out there, and there were a few technical difficulties. And then I tried to just not get in my head about it. I'm like, just keep moving forward. You're doing great. Like, where are you right now? What are you in? And then, at one point I was like, am I still out here? Like, I feel like I've been out here for so long. And I'm like, okay, come back in your body. Where are you? But it was incredible. And then tonight, I'm so excited for anyone in New York. I'm going to be performing at Webster Hall, which is an incredible venue to be performing
Legends. perform at Webster Hall.
Honored to be there. So yeah, I'm excited. I think I'm going on at 12:30 or 1. And Mel Forever also is going to be performing there. I love her. Her and I have a song together too. But yeah, the performing's been incredible to step into. And it's become one of my favorite parts of my life. And it really is feeling just such a blessing. And you never know how life's going to pan out. So I just really want to enjoy these and this moment and everything.
How does it feel when you step on the stage and those roars are coming at you and like just the passion from the fans?
I could only hear half of it because you have your in-ears and it's a sound blocker. So I didn't even realize how loud the roars were going, Heidi, Heidi. Like I felt the energy and I could hear like half of it. And then when I saw the audio later, I'm like, oh my gosh, that was like deafening loud. So it was just shocking. Honestly, it was so incredible to have that many people care and support me and chant my name and be excited to see me as a pop star out there, which is my biggest dream. So I still am resonating in that moment, and my children watch it. It's their favorite thing ever. When I show them on my video, my 2-year-old keeps saying, watch mama dance and sing, and he loves that video and he smiles the whole time, and my 7-year-old too. So it just feels, I'm so thankful, and it feels like such an accomplishment.
It's so much that's going on in your body and your brain and your soul during the performance. Afterwards, how do you wind down so you can sleep and get into a zen, relaxed place?
In the beginning, it was really hard. And I guess every time's a little bit different depending on what's going on after and around it. But I try to just take a deep breath, obviously, water, a bath. I always take a bath, some chamomile tea. So for this weekend, for all the shows, going to New York, to San Francisco tomorrow, to Seattle the next day, I'll have like a chamomile tea. Maybe on the last night of Seattle, I'll have a glass of champagne to celebrate when it's done.
Yeah.
But I just want to stay on my game, and the tea I feel like is also really important.
We've heard artists like Miley talk about how it's hard to perform because you give so much, but you get a lot from everyone else. Now that you're on that side of the pop stardom, do you see how the big names have been having an internal battle with performing and giving yourself so much to the public?
Absolutely. I was just listening or recently talking about Elvis Presley, who said that, and said that he took the energy from the audience into his body and it helped him to perform. And at the same time, it is tolling. So it is true. And I do see how that could be a lot, but it's also really charging. Mm-hmm. And it's really an unspoken energy. I mean, having that many people give you that much energy, there's nothing like it on the earth. And I don't know. It's incredible. It's an incredible experience and opportunity. And again, I'm just so thankful for it. And it's such a dream come true. And I always look at, especially now in a different way, I'm watching Taylor, who obviously I think is one of the best in the entire world and at performing. And I was just rewatching her documentary and just watching all these top stars. And it's incredible, the looks and all these meticulous things that they do on stage that seem subtle but really radiate to the audiences, and just all these tricks everyone does it's unbelievable. So congrats to all the performers out there.
Right?
Yeah.
And we've seen you and Spencer grow and grow and grow into this like crazy pinnacle of fame that we actually didn't even know could be possible. And with that, we know that even hate and like negativity comes in and people demanding things of you guys. And how do you balance that? Because that is not easy.
It's tricky. We're dealing with so much right now in our own lives, and I just feel like it's important to focus on my family right now, especially my kids who need me, and I'm trying to just harness my energy and focus on the battles that I need to fight daily within my own life. So it is hard with negativity and criticism, but we've been there before. We'll be there again. You know, it's just kind of part of life. And I know there's a lot going on right now for everyone. So my heart goes out to everyone. And like I said, I need to focus on my kids, who I'm just trying to find them new friends and continue to get them in school. And my 2-year-old's crying every day because he wants to go home and saying he wants his own home. And it seems like the fires were a long time for everybody, but for us, it just happened in a life that we lived for so long, in a place that we have been for 8 years. So it's old news to other people, but to us, it's still really fresh.
And I mean, we talked when we first chatted about how even through that tragedy, like it's the irony of your biggest dream, but also biggest nightmare coming at the same time. Yeah. So now for all the people that have been supporting you and still support you and show up to the shows and listen to the album and are waiting for the next one, what do you say to those people?
I mean, I'll start crying, but I'm just so appreciative. And I think that's maybe a difference that I'm feeling than a lot of other artists, is just knowing that people are there who like really love me and our family and are there to support us, and people who have been riding for Superficial for 15 years. I mean, I have some of the same fans who have been messaging me for so long. So the success and the meaning of people showing up is so deep, and I really appreciate all of that. And it weighs so heavy on my heart, showing up and have everyone cheering, knowing that they're there because they love me.
I mean, yeah. And on so many different levels. We just had Farrah Abraham in, and she was talking about being single and dating, and she mentioned Spencer Pratt, that Spencer Pratt is the staple. Like, if a guy isn't treating me like Spencer, like, I don't need him. Yeah. So you guys have become, and it's not easy to be in a relationship, and you've talked about the ups and downs, but knowing that people see your guys' relationship and family like that, that's a lot of pressure. But how cool is that you guys have been able to provide that glimpse of hope for men and women?
I love that. And actually, Kelly Rowland said that to me too. And she was like, I just really appreciate your marriage and what an incredible role model of a family you guys have for the country. And I almost started crying. I was like, you were just hitting me left and right with just she is one of the angel. But I think that's incredible, because to me, my priority and the thing I care about most in life is my marriage and is our family. And that's my greatest accomplishment and what I care about the most. So for that to be shown and to be able to be a blessing to anyone is incredible, because that's what I live for and that's what I'm here for. And I feel like that's my greatest purpose in life, is being, Spencer's wife and the mom to my children. So I'm so thankful that people have finally been able to see Spencer in the light that I've always seen him in, because he has been that way since we were together. He's always been my biggest cheerleader and champion. I think it was misconstrued in a storyline of a narrator who, it was all fake, the whole storyline. And that just wasn't authentic in what was going on behind the scenes. So Spencer's always been this man and this person and my ride or die. And he's always worn my shirt, so to say. So I'm just so happy and appreciative that people can see that side of him that is who he is. I mean, he's everybody's best friend whose life he's in. He's the greatest father. He's the most incredible husband. Best record label CEO, that's for sure.
Yeah, I can
do better. Work very hard.
It's so beautiful. And even from what's been happening, we've seen the whole world love you and show love to you. Has there been any people that have reached out to you or posted about you that you were starstruck about?
I mean, J-Lo for sure. When she had my song, I almost fell over. I was like, J-Lo! I just started screaming like, J-Lo! Like, I love J-Lo. She is like queen bee to me. So that was incredible. Emma Rada, I love her. I was so thankful for her. Julia Fox also. I keep forgetting the huge director, Saturday Night Live director. Wow. Oh my gosh. I mean, there were so many people who did videos and reached out. So it was incredible, because we've never really been supported in our career in the industry. So not only to be supported by the audience, but to have the industry itself and people within it to rise and support us was shocking and incredible. I've never experienced anything like that.
Have you had time to sit down and think about goals, or are you trying to catch up with the demands of yesterday?
Yeah. I think all I think about is goals, because I just want to build a house or have a house for my kids so bad. And it's great inspiration because when I'm missing them, I mean, I'm with them a lot. I am. I'm with them, you know, 5, 6 days out of the week. But when I leave, or if I'm having any mom guilt, I just remind myself like I'm working really hard to rebuild their future in their lives. So I have a lot of goals. I have a lot of dreams, and now probably more than ever because I see what can happen and that life can change quickly, good or bad, and the sky's the limits, and just to put it all out there and try as hard as you can and dream as big as you can. And why not?
100%. And even with our listeners here on Z100, we have something that they're looking forward to all summer long. It's called our Z100 $1,000,000 summer, where we give a listener a chance to win $1,000,000. So I want to hear if I know Spencer wants to win. What advice would you give to our listener that wins that chance at $1,000,000 to do with the money?
Anything you want. I mean, whatever you want. If you've been wanting a boat, buy a boat. If you want a down payment for a house, put it on that. If you want to go shopping, whatever the frick you want. Because what else have I learned is things burn down, things go away. You could die tomorrow. Who knows? You can't hold on to money, right? It is smart to invest it. You know, that's the smarter thing to do. So if you want to do that, I always love that advice where you buy some, you spend some, and you save some or give some. There's that whole saying. So whatever it is, you know, but whatever you want. And congratulations to whoever wins. Yes, and everybody should try.
I know,
you have nothing
right?
to lose. Yeah.
You never know. Oh, that's beautiful. They're going to love to hear that. Now, I asked you this last time, but I like to wrap up asking right now in this moment, how does it feel to be Heidi Montag?
It feels better than it ever has to be Heidi Montag in this moment. I feel like I have stepped into the persona I've always wanted to be publicly and doing what I actually want to do publicly. There's a lot of things I've done in the past that I haven't wanted to do or haven't enjoyed and have been so stressful and just not what I would necessarily choose. And right now and here in this moment, I'm doing exactly what I've always dreamed. I'm doing exactly what I love. I have a great balance going on with my family and being able to work. So I'm the most thankful and I'm the happiest I've been to be me publicly, you know, and working. So obviously I'm continuing to build and we have a lot going on, but I'm just counting my blessings and enjoying the moment that everyone's healthy and alive and I'm alive. So thank you, God, for right here and right now.
To anyone that hasn't listened to Heidiwood yet, what do you want them to take away from Heidiwood?
Heidiwood is the quintessential fun pop album that everybody needs right now in this recession. Everybody needs escapism and time to just have fun and have that fantasy world. So I hope they dive into Heidiwood, enjoy it, play it loud, dance around, don't hold back, and that it could be, you can be whoever you want in this world. So I hope it's an inspiration to be authentic and be yourself.
Well, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for honoring your word and stopping by. I mean, it means everything that you guys came through to me in person. Congratulations again on Heidiwood, and cannot wait for the next album. Cannot wait to see you tonight at Webster Hall, and then tomorrow back home with my family in San Francisco, and then the rest of the just shows that you're doing this summer. So many blessings. Thanks for always teaching us what a beautiful family unit should look like, and just more and more blessings to you and everyone.
Thank you. I love you.
Oh, I love you. Heidi, I love you.
Thank you.